Hello, shalom, and welcome to Scout Israel. Welcome to my latest in a series of vlogs. If you like the content, remember to like, to share and subscribe. We want to make it to over 1,000 subscribers. And this blog, this time we're going to be discussing somebody else's video. The video isn't as important as the claims in the video. So the video is entitled Palestinians, do you know that the Jewish temple is under Haram Al Sharif? So this is a video produced by a gentleman called Cory Gil-Shuster. I'm going to make this blatantly clear. I am one of Cory Gil-Shuster's subscribers. I think Cory Gil-Shuster's work is amazing. I am not here to criticise his video. His video is brilliant, and the questions he asks is brilliant, and he's a very humble person on these videos. That's how he comes across. I love. Go watch his videos. The link is down below or somewhere up here. The second thing I'm going to make very clear: I am not here to deny the validity of another religion's holy places. Actually, even the suggestion of doing that makes me feel a bit sick here. I don't do that. It's not even a case of go and believe what you want to believe. I actually like Islam. I think Islam's wonderful. I think Muslims are wonderful. I'm not here to disprove that. I'm here just to clarify a few issues. And also even maybe to build some basis for decent understanding, not some of the ridiculousness that's going on right now. So the question, Cory Gil-Shuster, amazing videographer, amazing YouTuber, goes around the country, Israel, Palestine, whatever the heck you want to call it, asking people different questions he's been sent. So you can send a question to Cory Gil-Shuster. A large range of questions normally on the Israel-Palestine situation. You know, Jews, do you hate Palestinians? Palestinians, do you hate Jews? What do Jews believe? Do Jews like Jesus? Does Muslims like Jesus? So this one he goes around asking mainly Palestinians, I believe. Let's get this right, read off here. See, your memory is horrible here. He says to the question is, Palestinians, do you know the Jewish temple is under Haram Al Sharif? So, first thing, under sounds a bit funny. He rarely asks that in the video. He asks, do you know that there's a Jewish temple underneath Aksa? Aksa is the mosque. There's actually two buildings on the Temple Mount. One is a mosque called Aksa, the farthest mosque, and one is a golden dome called the Golden Dome of Omar. By the way, he's not a tour guide, at least I don't think so. He's not an archaeologist. He's there to ask people questions, which he does a great job at. He says, do you know there's a Jewish temple underneath there? It's not really underneath. It's not really underneath. You see, it's not as far as where the archaeology is not so great. The claim isn't that there's like somewhere hiding underneath the ground a Jewish temple. It's that the entire box. Now you can see a video I've done on this to explain it better. Here's the link to the video. On top of the box, which is the Temple Mount, used to sit the second temple, which was renovated by a guy called Herod the Great. So sitting on top of the box. So it's not underneath anything. The temple got burned down in the year 70 by the Romans. Completely destroyed, not much left there, so there's nothing hiding under anything. Maybe some artifacts, not just maybe, there are some artifacts. And then there was an argument about what actually stood up there for the next few hundred years, but then to cut a long historical story short, in the 7th century, as it said in the video by one of the responders, very impressed by this, a gentleman called Abdul Malik, he built something up there, and then his grandson Al-Walid, and this is all kept place in the, I believe, the 7th century, if I'm not mistaken. I could be very wrong, so I'll have some nice words appear here when I'm wrong, going wah, wah. He built something. and he builds a mosque called Aksa and a golden dome called the Dome of Omar, and this is to commemorate the place where, according to Muslim tradition, Muhammad went in a journey mentioned in the 17th surah of the Quran, known as Surat Al-Isra, where he went to ascend to heaven and to receive the main principles of Islam. So, the Cory Gil-Shuster goes around telling people, asking people the question, do you know something's underneath the Temple Mount? And people are generally under the impression that that's the claim. That's not the claim, there's something on top. But we won't nitpick there. People say, no, it's all a lie. And they start to trot out a narrative that really owes its kind of origin to organisations like the Palestinian Authority, and specifically their news agency Al-Wafa. Now, Al-Wafa, you hear people in the video say there was never anything there, there's no evidence there's anything there, people have been searching around lots of the time for something there. This is because Al-Wafa and various other groups, most recently the Mufti of Jerusalem, a few years back, said there is no evidence, not a single stone of Solomon's temple. And he would be 100% correct. What's Yossi saying? 100% correct? How? No! Yeah, there's no decent archaeological evidence of a Solomonic temple. Firstly, it's been very difficult to dig up there in the past 70 years or so, can't think why. And even before that, the Ottomans weren't very happy with archaeologists coming along digging up there. But also, because that's not the claim. That's not the claim. The claim is not that there was a Solomonic temple up there by most educated Jews, because we know we'd have a problem proving that one. The claim is there was a Herodian temple. And notice, none of these organisations, and it's trickled down to the people in Cory Gil-Shuster's wonderful video, none of these people, all the organisations which they got this news from, talk about Herod's temple. Because if you did, it's the equivalent of saying various ridiculous claims about history. I don't know. Battle of Waterloo didn't happen. The Louvre doesn't exist. That would be the kind of thing you would be saying. There was no first House of Parliament before it burnt down and then they built another one. That's a good example. It'd be like saying that. We know that's not true. If you go to London or saw the Houses of Parliament, they'll say there was a House of Parliament and it burned down and then they built a new one. This is a similar thing. There was a Herod's temple. There is archaeological evidence of it. Number one, there's this massive box called a temenos, which is the Temple Mount. Where did that come from? Aliens? You know, it's there. And guess what? It's from the time of Herod. We can tell because of the styles of the stones and the various things. Also, for history, you need two things. You need primary sources and you need secondary sources. We have both talking about Herod's temple. We have Cassius Dio talking about Herod's temple. We have Pliny the Elder talking about Herod's temple. We have Josephus. Okay, he's Jewish. Maybe we faked him. Don't think so. Talking about Herod's temple. Herod's temple existed. Herod's temple was a Jewish temple. It was on the Temple Mount. It was burnt down in the year 70. You can't really argue that. The problem is these I think they have no moral criticism of the people in the video. They just don't know. They've been fed lies. They've been fed mistruths as well, meaning like a lie just based on the truth, then you kind of obfuscate it. You misdirect somebody to the other way. You say, there is no evidence of a Solomonic temple, so you go ask the archaeologist, no evidence. And then you say, so that means no Jewish temple. No, sorry, don't get away with that easy. Second thing, there is a claim in the video, it's a rather disturbing one, that the Jews have been digging underneath the Temple Mount. Now, let me make this very clear. There are currently no excavations underneath the Temple Mount. In the entire let's see, since in the entire history since 1967 of Israeli control of that area, there has been once a kind of sort of a bit excavation anywhere kind of close, which was when in 1981 the rabbi of the Western Wall, Rabbi Yehuda Getz, may his memory be for his righteous memory be for a blessing, amazing kind of guy, I probably should do something on him later, he's really fantastic character, and tried to dig kind of sort of through a wall of the box that is the Temple Mount structure, and then was stopped. So it kind of sort of happened, but not really. Apart from that, there hasn't been anything. People say, oh, but we've seen archaeology going on in tunnels of the Western Wall, which run parallel to the Western Wall. They don't go into the Temple Mount. The Western Wall's a big box. Those excavations, in fact, they're excavations underneath the Muslim quarter. You might say that's not slightly controversial as well. They don't go underneath the Temple Mount. Now, Jews themselves, I can speak as an Orthodox Jew, we wouldn't necessarily be happy with somebody doing that either, apart from the structural integrity of the Temple Mount. We haven't, people said, oh, they've been searching and searching on top of the Temple Mount. No, we haven't. Actually, somebody in the video said, the Jews have searched and found nothing. No, we haven't. We haven't searched. We haven't gone underneath the Temple Mount. We haven't dug through the Temple Mount. That would be silly. That would cause World War III. Why would we want to do that? We've dug underneath the Muslim quarter. Also, if anybody's done any digging on the Temple Mount, it is the Muslim trusteeship for the Temple Mount known as the Waqf. The Waqf have dug on the Temple Mount. They did it to extend a large mosque called the El Marwani Mosque, which is a large underground mosque. They fly-tipped a lot of the dirt off the Temple Mount. Then some Israeli archaeologists sifted through the fly-tipping, which is a problem anyway for archaeological integrity, but who did it anyway. It's called the Temple Mount Sifting Project. Found some very interesting things. Some of them connected with the Jewish temple, like a half shekel, a special coin they used to use in the temple. It's a different problem calling it evidence because it's not in situ, it's not in the correct place, but it is something. So if anybody's been digging there, it's not us. And if anything, that caused a lot of structural integrity issues. They had to call in the Israeli state and the UN to kind of work out, is the Temple Mount going to fall down because of this construction? So, no, Jews haven't been causing the Temple Mount to fall down, and we have there are Jewish extremist groups interested in bringing down the Muslim structures on top, but the state doesn't want to do that. Apart from anything, we made an agreement with Dubai. We're waiting for the tourist dollars to come through. Why would you destroy something which will bring you in lots of nice tourist dollars? We haven't done that either. What has happened is there's a great deal of obfuscation and a distraction from the Palestinian Authority and various other organisations. To make it clear, a few people are going to probably they're just itching to make the following comment down below in the comment section. Go on, do it. But you know, Jerusalem's not mentioned in the Quran. And really, the Al-Aqsa Mosque, you know, there's no basis for it being in Jerusalem. It's not mentioned in the Surah Al-Isra, the 17th surah, doesn't mention it being Muhammad going to Jerusalem. It just mentions him going to the farthest mosque. And it's only hadith, meaning oral tradition, that the Muslims have a mosque there. Okay, trying to understand the Quran without oral tradition is like trying to put together IKEA furniture without instructions. I'm not trying to be offensive about I am not saying the Quran is IKEA furniture. I am saying it's hard to understand, mostly because I'm not very clever. but I don't think many people do understand it either without hadith, because hadith is important. Hadith is supposed to be the recorded sayings of the Prophet, remembered through oral tradition through the generations, and the various collections of hadith. So saying it's just hadith, that's the equivalent of when somebody comes along saying something about Judaism and uses the phrase, oh, but that's just the Rabbanan, meaning that's just something the rabbi said. Yeah. Rabbinic Judaism. This is Rabbinic Judaism. To understand Rabbinic Judaism, you need to know the old tradition of what the rabbi said. So, fair enough, criticise something by saying it's just an oral tradition, but then the whole system falls apart. So, I don't like that either. I don't like this whole idea of saying, oh, the Jews have no right to be here. That's all a load of myths and child stories. But it's true also about Islam. Don't go slagging off Islam because you don't understand it either. Yes, it is just a hadith that Al-Aqsa is in Jerusalem. However, it's a fairly decent hadith dating from, I believe, the Mamluk period. They say that's fairly recent. No, it's not. That's like 700 years ago, the Mamluk period, and it's a fairly new religion. What do you want? So it's a fairly good old tradition, and apart from anything, who am I to go criticising Islam? And I can analyse it from an objective point of view. At the end of the day, they want to believe what they want to believe. It's a religion, it's fine, that's what religions do. And lastly, I would like to say, I like that Jerusalem is the third holiest city in Islam. I am actually happy with that. Fine. Everybody should think Jerusalem's the holiest city. It's my favourite city. I believe that God specifically chose Jerusalem to bring about peace in the world. Why would it be bad that Muslims like it here? I have only problems with the rubbish people say and the nasty things we do to each other. I wish there was a lot more understanding about that. So please, don't go around telling me there's no evidence of a Jewish temple up there. There's plenty. You have to be a bit weak in the head to think there's not. Just go read some Cassius Dio, Josephus and Pliny the Elder, and then have a look at the archaeology. For example, my video. And it'd be hard to deny. And equally, don't then say, therefore, in some kind of false dichotomy, because there is a Jewish temple, the Muslims don't have anything there. They have plenty there. They have a beautiful building, as we heard, from the time of Abdul Malik and al-Walid. And they have a tradition of praying to Jerusalem before they had the tradition of praying to Mecca. We are the first direction of Muslim prayer. And apart from anything else, don't make reasons why you need to get rid of my Muslim friends from Jerusalem. That will make this place an incredibly boring, dull city, which I don't really want to live in if that's the case. I'm happy with Muslims and Christians and Jews living here. It's supposed to be here to give a good example to the rest of the world. On that note, peace, shalom. Have a look at Cory Gil-Shuster's video. It's very eye-opening. And like, share and subscribe. Oh yeah, just quickie, just a quick message. Don't forget to donate. I'm a tour guide. All my work's gone, so I've been making these fun videos and also working a bit in archaeology and childcare, and also my own childcare. So let's keep me solvent, keep the bills going. Feel free to visit my ko-fi.com/scoutisrael or patreon.com/scoutisrael or PayPal me so we can carry on doing this and keep me and the manager here in the black and not in the red.